Cherry blossoms? Check. Manga and anime? Check. The Legend of Zelda? Check. Memoirs of a Geisha? Check. Yeah, these are just some of the many things that Japan is widely known for. But did you know that the country is also known for its trains? And not just any old trains. $9 trillion futuristic bullet trains. Yeah, Brad Pitt would totally approve here. So to find out more about these high-octane modes of transportation, keep on watching. Japan is currently developing its first high-speed maglev line that is said to revolutionize the train industry. Maglev trains operate under the principle of magnetic repulsion between the train and the track. The word maglev is actually a combination of the words magnetic and levitation. The magnetic levitation or floating of the train is achieved through the use of an electrodynamic suspension system. A maglev train deploys two sets of strong electromagnetics. One set pushes the train off the track, giving the impression that it is hovering, and the other set pulls the train forward. This accelerates the train quickly by utilizing the absence of friction. These same magnetic forces that lift the train also move it forward and keep it centered within the guideway. The cost of construction, premium accommodations, specialized maglev technology, and other factors is undoubtedly rather high. The quote for this futuristic project is 9 trillion yen. In USD, it converts to $66,537,900,000. Yeah, that was a bit of a mouthful. Now, let's talk about speed. The Chao Shinkansen is unquestionably a contender. Its top speed of 314 kilometers per hour is startling. You might be wondering, is this the fastest train in the world? Well, the answer is no. The French TGV holds the record for the fastest train with a top speed of 357 miles per hour. But later, Japan went ahead and built a maglev train that actually broke that record by reaching a whopping 375 miles per hour. Moving on to the route this train will actually take. It will originally include a stretch that travels from Tokyo's Shinagawa Station to Nagoya. With this bullet train, it should take about 40 minutes to travel there. In comparison, the same trip would take approximately 5 hours if you were to drive in typical traffic. And that's if the traffic were to remain the same. But with rush hour, we all know how that goes. The train is anticipated to travel other routes as well, an extension to Osaka, with a drive from Tokyo to Osaka being approximately more than 6 hours. However, with the help of this revolutionary maglev train, the train ride might very well be reduced to under 3 hours. Certainly worth the money and time, huh? Now let's talk about the cost. So how much will a ride on this modern floating train set you back? It'll cost you around 16,237 yen. So in US dollars, that's roughly $120 per ticket. And for reference, it's like traveling from New York City to Augusta, Maine, which would cost you around $326, with the travel time being easily more than 8 hours. Yeah, compare that with maglev technology, which is definitely onto something. Now that we've covered the basics, let's move on to a more pressing issue: safety. This is a legitimate worry because these trains may go over 300 miles per hour. It might be a terrible tragedy just waiting to happen. In fact, an unfortunate accident occurred on October 27th, 2021. 2 construction workers perished as a result of said accident. They were both buried when a retaining wall collapsed in a work tunnel. This prompted a thorough assessment of its safety checks, which revealed to have some serious deficiencies. So are these trains actually safe to ride on? This may come as a shock, but the Shinkansen rail system in Japan has gone more than 57 years without a single accident. However, a few disasters have occurred, including the Shirakaki train tragedy in 1991, which resulted in the deaths of 42 people and the injuries of 614 more, and even a crash that happened outside of Tokyo in 2019, which resulted in 34 injuries in addition to 1 fatality. But even then, throughout the history of Japanese railroads, these unfortunate accidents are considered to be very rare. Thus, it's possible that their new maglev train will never cause harm to anyone, ever. Well, at least that's the goal. Now, with all these advancements in train technology, how are trains going to further improve moving forward? The most popular plans for developing train technology at the moment involve environment-friendly, or more appropriately, sustainable green tech. While the majority of those are your typical green energy trains, some of them are also considered to run on human waste. Now, we can't decide if that's impressive or just plain gross, but yay for innovation? It remains a mystery whether we can make bullet trains even quicker than they are now, in terms of practical transportation innovation. But with today's technology, who knows? Let's take a look at the idea for flying train-plane hybrids. These are simply standard rail trains with enormous wings attached to them. How it works is, you board them just like a regular train, and then you take off on the rails. The train then lifts off while still being linked to the tracks, holding onto it like a huge kite, loaded with passengers. After it completes its journey, it slowly returns to the track, lets passengers off, and then boards additional passengers. The train-plane hybrid has a capacity of 2,000 passengers, and its speed is close to 500 miles per hour, surpassing any previously held records. In terms of price, we would assume that it would be insanely expensive. The technology would need to be able to securely launch off a rail and land back on it numerous times throughout the day. That totally doesn't sound cheap at all to us. But another even more absurd idea is that Japanese trains will be able to travel to the moon. Yup, there's no limits with this stuff. To infinity and beyond, as Buzz Lightyear would say. The Japanese maglev technology originated in 1970 and was a government-funded project by Central Japan Railway Company and the Railway Technician Research Institute. The creation of this project resulted in the construction of a test track for maglev research and development that measures 4.3 miles long. In fact, in April of 2015, a manned superconducting maglev train broke previous land speed records. The train reached a speed of a mind-blowing 375 miles per hour, as we mentioned earlier. Now, enough with that, and let's get to the heart of the matter. Can people actually brawl on top of a bullet train? That's what we call the action movie test around here. And if past movies are any indication, you'll be spending most of your time lying face down on that sucker, just like Tom Cruise in Mission Impossible. So if you're hoping to get into a knockdown, drag-out fight on top of a bullet train, be prepared to eat some serious pavement. Are you as excited as we are for this top-speed engineering achievement? Share your thoughts in the comments down below. And as always, thanks for watching and stay tuned for more episodes like this one.